Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So this is part 3 of my visit to Hemswell Antiques Centre in Lincolnshire. And yeah, it's not the final part either because there is going to be a part 4. So I've got just about as much film left as I've had for this part. So yeah, and I'm in my element because there's lots of the glass that's like my home turf, old git glass. So with that said, let's get on with the film. It's got a nice decanter stand here. I'm looking at this. I think these bottles started life with this because they fit so snugly. But I don't think these stoppers started life. Yeah, they look like they've been redone. Yeah, I think these stoppers are from another set. I think, yeah, and in fact they don't. Yeah. So 3 matching stoppers and 3 matching bottles, but not together. So I thought the best way to show you what I meant about the stoppers and the matching and not matching was to show you some of my own stuff. So I pulled this stand out the shelf from behind me, and yeah, yeah, there's a bit of a mark there. Yeah, don't worry about that. So this stopper goes with this one. If you look at this pattern here, can you see? Matches this pattern here. Now they won't always do that, but yeah, that's a nice indicator that these started life together. Also, if I can get an angle right, can you see the wear on this stopper peg? It's in a sort of band about here-ish. I don't think get that out of the picture and get this in. Oh, it's not picking it up. Yeah, that's what happens when you try to do things in the daylight. But there is wear on this one, and it goes with this very. Can you hear that? Yeah, it goes exactly with this one. Oh, you can see. Oh yeah, can you see the shininess? So, if it was just newly fitted, there would be no shyness. You can see a line of shyness running down the side, right-hand side of the stopper peg. Yep. So that is always live with that. And then, so this is a pillar cut decanter or spirit bottle because it's small like those ones. Yeah, it's got a pillar cut stopper. This is not molded. They would have cut grooves in this and then polished them out to make them rounded, and they've done the same with the body. Yeah, and it gives it a kind of shimmery effect. Can you see? Yeah, very nice. So they literally cut the groove and yeah, that's how that's done. And they chop it away. Very expensive technique, not done for very long. The 1820s or 30s. So yeah, and again, this stopper peg is like about. It would have started life as a polished stopper peg, but because it's had 100 years of use, it's got a bit frosted, and that's just through the use. Actually, let me pull out another one. I've got another stand here behind me. I'll pull something off it. There we go. Here's another one. There's another barrel-shaped one. This one's more intensely cut. This is probably a little bit later, but you can see it's another ball stopper to go with this barrel shape. Forget the ring. That's just and yeah, you can actually, can you see that on this one the shiny bits all around the top? Yeah, you can see it sometimes there. Yeah, so that sits, there's a band in there. Can you see where it sits? And that, where that makes contact with that, and yeah, it's got polished off. So that's how you can tell. And again, cutting on this goes with this. The fact that I've got three, you know, there's three of them and they're all the same helps. But yeah, that's why that was a little surprising to see 3 stoppers, 3 decanters, but not all originally together. A little shock to me. Sorry, the sun's just come out. I do have some more here. This rather cool stand here. This is really nice. Look at that, and look at the top there. Look how that's done. That's fantastic. It's like something Christopher Dresser would do. Very nice design. Also got Tantalus here with the game set. That usually whacks a load onto the price, especially if you've got bits and pieces. And then you got this here. Really unusual design. I think that might not be English though. What have they said? And it's bronze as well. That makes it even less likely to be English. Baccarat, he says. Okay. Yeah. That one there. That looks very English. Mapping and web. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking at things and then saying what I think. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What's he got on here? Arts and crafts. So, see the top? Yeah, you see on the top one. So this is a Christopher Dresser design. And this is really, really nice. Really nice. Now, he might have not designed it for these people, but they've copied it from somebody. Straight out of his book. As in I can't find it in the book, but it's, you see where the top is with a little disc top? That's directly one of his designs. I've got decanters with those, which are his designs with that disc top. And then this textured surface is something he does as well. So I thought, dive back into my collection again. So these will be dated somewhere 1880 to 1900 or something like that. But anyway, I thought it was 1875, I should say. But anyway, this one here is in one of my books. And look at this top with the disc. Yeah, not polished, of course, because I've got too much stuff to be doing that. Now, also, it's got H&H. This is plated. This is the plated mark. H&H is Houghton and Heath. And Christopher Dresser was a freelance designer, and he did work for Houghton and Heath. So, yeah. And I have other ones, which are in other books, that have this distinctive disc top. So they've basically copied that. And then I've got this one here, which is actually the same shape as the one we were looking at, and yeah, it's got the same disc top. So that's the textured pattern is something he does. Let me pull something else off the shelf. So here's another one. This has got a cut textured pattern. This is Houghton and Heath as well. So yeah, this is the kind of thing he did. He also did it on silverware as well, with, you know, textured patterns like this, where it looks like it's, you know, I mean, this is molded, quilted, but this is actually cut to be like this. So close up, you can tell it's a fantastic quality thing. So much work gone into making that. But anyway, as I said, and it's by Houghton and Heath as well, who I mentioned before, he's designed for. So yeah. Original 1930s decorative decanter there. They don't know. I don't know either. And you've got a Bohemian one in the back there. Oh, sorry. Can't hardly see it, so maybe I won't bother with that too much. And this jug here is nice as well. Arts and crafts, coopered. Look at this. Coopered means it's a barrel, basically. Cooper is the name of a barrel maker. So yeah, that's very nice. This is clearly where all the Tantaluses come to live. There's another one here. You can see these are not cut at all, the bodies. Stoppers are, but the body isn't. This one's 195, and you can see, oh yeah, there is a key, so that's a decent price, that's an okay price. And then there's another one over here, which is partially cut and partially moulded. That's 255, and he's got a key, so that's nice as well. And then I saw this down here. Oh yeah. Now, I'm less certain this all started life together. These bottles, yeah, these are kind of like your 1810 bottles. And these stoppers are they're not even matching. Very Victorian looking. These would probably have either a slightly different cut ball stopper. I've got some at home. I'll show you how those stoppers would have looked. Or it might be mushrooms. I thought I'd show you a couple. So this is the kind of stand it would have come with. Something like this. It kind of looks sophisticated, but in actual fact it's very simple. Look, it's just straps of metal. The base is just another strap that's been soldered to this top, and it would have been and also the other thing, oh, not that one, yeah, they're fitted, so yeah, as you'd expect, it probably fits on the other side. Yeah, oh no, it doesn't. Anyway, so what I will show you is what makes this stopper right. So for starters, it's got you can see this is matte, it's got a matte finish in here, we've got a matte finish on here. You can see the wear on it where it's sat in the bottle, so you can see here where the matte is, and then doesn't really, yeah, you can hear that difference. Also, all of these other ones seem to have a little shoulder here. Difficult to describe it. It's kind of not always exactly the same, and yeah, the ball is not always regular. This one is fairly decent, but you can see it's got bubbles in it, and also you can see swirls in the glass. Yeah. Let me show you this one. This is probably a better example. That's quite a flashy stopper for this period. Yeah, and the other one matching, and you can see, yeah, just as polished as well. Let me show you this one. This is what you're more likely to encounter. You can see it's not very sophisticatedly done. You can see also the wear on it where it sits inside the bottle, like that. It doesn't even sit completely straight. But yeah, these are moulded things, so they weren't not top class glass. They have a certain amount of cutting. Can you see those around there, so not completely unsophisticated polished pontle, but look at that wear on the base. Yeah. Let's have a look under this one. You see, yeah, it doesn't sit quite as flat, so the wear is mainly just around this, the lip of the pontle mark, but yeah, they're very similar to each other. And the cutting on this one is around the shoulders. Yeah, this was a fashion. Some of them have lots of cutting on the sides, some have very cut shoulders. This one just has a little bit of cutting on the shoulders, but actually has nicer stoppers. And it has a cut top, whereas this one has a pouring lid top. Yeah, got this out of the shed, so it's a bit dusty, but anyway, you get the idea. That's what you're looking at. And the ones we saw, I should have probably got some Victorian ones from the shed to show you, but anyway, the ones that we were looking at were probably Victorian cut bowls. The panels on them are regular, and you can see these are not. Yeah, they weren't really doing those really symmetrical cut balls at this time. Right, normally I'd go, oh yeah, it's a very common 9099 Whitefriars bowl, but this is not the common one, so it's huge. So that's the biggest size. I think it's 10 inches across or something like that plus. And I think this colour is Arctic blue, which you don't see much of, especially not in this size. In fact, I've not seen it this colour in this size before. So the size is rare, and then the colour combination makes it rarer, so you want a rare feature. Oh, initials on the base. Oh, let's see that. Oh, wow. Yeah, they look very Victorian Gothic, but the earliest this could be is from the 1950s. But yeah, very nice bowl. I'm here on the Whitefriars Glassworks website, and I thought I'd double check my memory for this. So it is the 9099. This is the earliest catalogue for it, which is 1954, and the largest size is 10 inches. So yeah, I don't know when that colour came in. I don't know. It's got to be here for blue, but that was not sky blue, I think it was called, or sapphire. But anyway, yeah, 1954 is the earliest it could be. So I've got a few bits of interest here. These are really finely cut candlesticks, but the bases are moulded, which is quite interesting. And they're very nicely done. A very Anglo-Irish look. The book I'm looking at here is Irish Glass by Phelps Warren. Now, one of the things about the Irish glass is, yeah, you're not going to find it's not very often that you always find exact matches for random pieces of tableware. Now, there are no candlesticks like that in this book, but this base is like the base of those candlesticks. The cutting is not, though. But if I go over a couple of pages, look at this. Look at this. These little fan cuts, these little stars. Now, what worries me a little bit is this kind of cutting is not kind of period with the base generally. You can see, look, there's another piece there. Actually, I think this is this piece in two parts, but there's another one here with the same fan cutting. Doesn't have a molded base. Molded bases were kind of going out, but then I don't think the cutting on that candlestick was quite as deep as these. It's very difficult to tell. If there was just one candlestick, I would be suspicious of a cut and shunt, as i.e. a different Irish base ended up with a different candlestick top, but there was a pair where the tops and the bases matched. So yeah, I don't think it was a cut and shunt. You would have to smash two candlestick tops and two candlestick bases to make that worthwhile. So yeah, I think in all probability is Irish. Just my little misgiving, it might be that it might be American or something like that. I don't know, but the molded base implies it would be pre-glass tax going on in Ireland, which would be 1822. See, this is dated 1825 to 30. This is dated 1820 to 30, so that might just squeeze it in. So yeah, it's it's a difficult one. Later on, after they put the tax on, glass became expensive, so yeah, you wouldn't be making much molded glass then, because you're actually making a cheap thing out of an expensive material. So yeah, anyway, that's my thoughts. And you've got lovely Victorian uranium vase there. That base looks familiar. I wonder if that's in the decorative Victorian glass book. I'm going to see if I can find who did these bases. The book I'm looking at here is Decorative Victorian Glass by Cyril Manley. Now, the crimped foot that we're looking at is just like this one here. Yeah, almost like it's out of the same press mould. So, what does he say? He's saying Thomas Webb circa 1900. So yeah, I'm not saying it's definite, but that does look like it's out of the same press mould. Other people might have been copying it, but it feels a reasonable speculation. And then there's a Medina bowl there. That's nice. I don't recognise this at all. He says unusual Argos bowl, possibly Murano. So he possibly is right there. A nice little leech glass, or bowl, yeah, glass it is, because it's got a foot and a stem. Later on, these are this shape without the foot. If you take that off, like that, it became posy bowls. So some of them are posy bowls and some of them are leech glasses. I think you have to go by how old they look. And then you've got a couple of other don't know how old the custard glass looks to be, early 19th century, but the two other glasses I've seen got 1750. I think that's probably a bit, one on the right there, 1750 sounds a bit early. 1790, I think these are probably similar ages. So we've got a bit of a marriage here. You've got this decanter, which is circa 1800. It's a lovely big one. It's got to be a litre at least. And then you've got this stopper, which I think is a Stevens and Williams reproduction stopper from their decanters, probably from the 1960s, maybe 50s. Price is still okay for this bottle. This is a really nice large plain bottle. If you look here, it looks, I think I've shown this before, it looks like it's damaged here, but this is actually where they've put a strip of glass round and joined it up, and this is the join that you're seeing here underneath. I'm cheating again because I'm using my own website. So going to manufacturers, Stevens and Williams, and here's the stopper we were talking about. Yeah, so it's pretty much that stopper. So yeah, what did I say on this one? Reference English and Irish glass, Jeffrey Wills, page 9. Yeah, and it's got the year in it as well. Designed by T. Jones, 1963. So yeah, it is a copy of a Georgian decanter, and yeah, it's not designed to fool people because this stopper is super modern and it's not actually made in exactly the same way. But yeah, that's what that stopper is, and you can see, you know, from there upwards, this bit of the bottle looks the same. In fact, actually, if I go back, go to decanters, go to Georgian. Let's see if I can spot you something similar, like that. Yeah, but that's not got. Have I got any in there with? Don't think I have. I should put one in. I need to expand that bit, I think. Anyway, that's not even the same because that's not even a bullseye. But anyway, you get the idea. Nice pair of ribbed bell decanters here. They're very matching, the stoppers are very matching, the bodies are very matching, so that's kind of nice to see. These will probably be from the 1840s, somewhere through to the 1880s, maybe 90s. I think, if I remember rightly, Caenby were making these. So I think I can show you a reference. Other people were making them earlier. I think even Apsley Pellet was making them, who were a very high-class maker. But I think I can show you the Caenby reference I have for these decanters. And then there's a few more bits up here. These are nice.
Monday, Tuesday,
Wednesday. Yeah. That was 1850s or so. 1830s. Yeah, similar period as well for this one. So yeah, they're all quite nice. The book I'm looking at here is the Decanter, Ancient to Modern. And yeah, so the bell decanters we were looking at there, this is a bit showing about how they're made. And then you've got this little line drawing here. That's from Holyrood, Edinburgh, 1865. They're saying this is an 1845 one. The ones we were looking at a bit more like this, I don't think that means anything because lots of people were making these. I've seen other pictures of them somewhere else. So yeah, lots of people were making them because they were being made for pubs and hotels and stuff like that. That's the kind of wares they were, and they were making jugs and other things as well. So yeah, I know that I think they were making them until at least 1890, and at least as early as 1840, maybe earlier than that. So anyway, there you go. That's the kind of decanters they were. I said for pubs and clubs, or clubs, pubs and clubs, pubs and inns and hotels, and yeah, and they were made for about 50 years. There's quite a lot of glass here. There's one bit that's popping out at me. It's this claret jug up here. This is pre-18th, probably a very early Victorian one. 1840s, 1850s, maybe 60s at the latest, but that is quite nice. Nothing else is. I'll not pick that up. That's quite nice. Yeah, but there's a lot of glass here. And these look very Victorian, early Victorian maybe. Oh, I was going to say Roland Ward in the back there, and he's got it labelled. Roland Ward glasses. They're modern. So, what do I know about Roland Ward? I think he's a big game taxidermist. I think he's from Kenya. I've been having real problems trying to figure this out. But yeah, Moser in Germany made glasses with big game on them, effectively. I think they stopped doing it in the 70s. It's very, I can't find any record of the company. I've been looking at, I found links that go to the Moser website and that page is not found, so they're not doing it anymore. I don't know when they stopped doing it, but clearly at some point, I don't know how recently. But yeah, you see it, I wouldn't say quite often, but you see it from time to time. If I'm doing this search on just Roland Ward glass and it appears, you can see here there's quite a lot of it, and it's all got these big game animals. I did see some blue. Let's see what these come up with, if you can get a better picture. So these were not quite, I think these were like the glasses that we're looking at. Probably not the exact same animals and things, but this is the kind of thing that we were looking at. So they're usually very nicely engraved. We'll find something else that's, look at this. See what I mean? Very nicely engraved, big game animals. Trees have a certain look about them usually. I said I've done all this searching and it's just little bits here and there, people telling you bits and pieces of the story, but it doesn't exist as a company anymore online or anything like that. So how much of that is true or not, I think this is,
it says West Germany. So the Scottish Antiques website sells very high quality glass usually. Although in this case, this price seems to be very reasonable for, I think it's for 6 tumblers. So, because usually it's pretty expensive. Roland Wars of specialised in glassware, blah blah blah. Government probing glasses were produced in West Germany for what? I don't know what's going on. It's all, the story seems to be all over the shop. If we go here, we can see what's for sale, and you can see the prices can be quite high. These are like wine glasses, I think, yeah. And they've sold for £199, so that's £50 a glass. Okay. What else is it? There's other bit. You can see, look, there's other things. There's the Roland Ward name attached. There is actually some real taxidermy as well. Bowl there, just a bowl on its own. That's quite a big one, probably. That's nearly £200. It's sold for that. These are sold prices, remember. So this tankard is £59.99. So you can see the prices are, but then there's one here which is different animals. That's £29.99. So yeah, the prices, none of them are cheap. There is quite a lot of variation, as you normally expect, but none of it is cheap. A single glass there is £34. They were selling, he had 3 brandy balloon glasses for, I think it was £58 there. So that's under £20 a glass, which looking at these sold prices, would make it the cheapest piece of Roland Ward glass here if it was actually on this site. So that looks like a very good price then, doesn't it? But yeah, it has to be your taste. Obviously there's someone collecting it. You can buy books on big game, Roland Ward books on big game, yay. But anyway, that's what it is. It is quality stuff. It is quality engraved. It is all, you know, it's animals and things. At one level it's very tasteful, and then you realize actually it's come out of the world of big game hunting, which makes it a bit like, ooh, that's a little bit iffy. But anyway, it is what it is. It is quality stuff. It does make good money. What else is here? Go through. Let me go over here. I've not been over here yet. See if anything on here is jumping out at me as being different. Yeah, I don't know. Anything up here? No. What about amongst these ones? No. Little pots there, they look nice. I quite like the one in the back. Don't know who the maker is though. And they've got some stoppers, so I'm going to stop and have a look. Look at this lovely set here, lovely cocktail set. What's it, what? 175. I've seen these works before. I think they're Bohemian. But yeah, that's super quality. Even though those glasses are probably weigh nothing. What's nice is also, you see this little bottle here with a little spigot on the end. That's for bitters, to add a little bit of spice to your drinks. So yeah, very nice set that. Oh, hang on, let's spot this over here. Yeah, so we've got here, he says 19th century. This is early 19th century. So that's nice too. And the price is okay. £45 for probably a Regency jug. That's a good price. I've shown you this or talked about it many times before. So the jug that we were looking at just now, the handle was like this one, yeah, where it's
attach to the top and pull, or they'll get a strip of glass, attach it to the top, pull it and stick it at the bottom. Yeah. And then this one is done in a very different way. So this is a technique that changed in the 1870s. The examples are not always as obvious as this one, but what they would do with this one in the 1870s, they switched the way round that they were making the handles, and they would get a blob of glass, bung it on there, and then pull it, stretch it, bend it round, and stick it at the top. And that's how post 1870s handles are made. So I thought I'd show you this again. I think I showed it in stuff I bought for me, but I actually did buy this in that very building the first time I went, about a month beforehand. I think I cleaned out all the bargains. I was telling you £45 was a good price, because I've seen them sort of like up to £80–90 for sort of like a nice Regency jug. This one is just as good, slightly different style, very nice quality one. I paid £12 for this one. So yeah, I robbed one of the Paul Hemswell Antiques dealers of this really nice jug. The handle's complete. You need to watch them very carefully, because sometimes that's actually cut glass there. Quite often there's a crack in the bottom down here, or there's a crack through here. Yeah, this way of making handles is weaker than this way. So these ones tend to crack more at the top. These ones crack at both ends, but yeah, they also tend, for some reason, they do seem to go more in the glass in here and here, or just crack right through and come off. Anyway, so that's what I'm explaining about the jug handle, while I was going, oh yeah, I think it's the way the handle's made is at least pushing it pre-1870, but I think it's earlier than that. Come around a corner, see a bunch of glass like this, get excited, then you have to zoom in, see what you can find. So, wrong stopper, so this will be, I think this is a bludgeon, so talking 80/45 to 60, but yeah, I could do a better stopper than that for it. Huge cranberry oil lamp. Top there, I don't know if I'm holding it because I can't see what I'm doing, but look at that, that's fantastic. Yeah, if you've got an oil lamp that big that needs something that huge, that is the job. Trying to see, this is quite nice, but I don't know who made that. It looks like it's Cumbrian glass, looking at the shape of the stopper, but yeah, I'm not sure. So I'm here on the Cumbrian Crystal website. Yeah, so they're still making these today. Now, what I was talking about was the stopper here that you can see is like the one that we were looking at. It's the same shape. It's difficult to tell in this picture. It's got a cut top on there like the one that we're looking at, but the one we were looking at had didn't have a pouring lip, and it didn't look like it was cut off, but the body looked the same, kind of rounded look to it. Yeah, a new one of these is £530. I did actually go into, I did have a punt around to see if there were any where they didn't have the pouring lip. This is the only one I could find with the sale. There's none in sold, no ship's decanters. There's these two here. There's this one which is £90, which I'm not so sure about actually. But this one is definitely one, and they want £450 for that one. But there's no sold ones. But they're always asking for a lot of money for them, regardless. Look. Only the one that I'm less sure of, because the shape doesn't seem quite right.
yeah, is the cheaper one, but even then it's still £90. So, and I did have a look at images as well, and then nothing popped up there, so I'm not sure if it's Cumbrian. The stopper looks right for it. The pouring lip. They've been around a few decades, but yeah, I don't know is the answer. If I was guessing, I would say it was, but I can't give any positive confirmation on that. This looks good. So this is another early Victorian job here. That looks very good indeed. Yeah, I don't know who did this one. It's like, yeah. What else? And then down here is a bunch of cranberry. And what in here is good? This jug here. This jug here. Look at this. Can you see the base? Look at that work there. That is very nice. So the way the handle's put on tells you later than 1870s, but still very nice jug. The claret jug in the background's nice as well. Stopper looks right for it. This is nice as well. Those are the bits that stand out. Obviously, the celery glass is unusual, but it's got a cut rim, so that doesn't make it my favourite. I prefer natural finish rim. That's just me. So I'm getting excited now because when I was here last time, this is the area where I bought about 3 or 4 pieces of glass. Because the prices are good, the things. A bit of yeah, Stuart Ellesmere. This is a nice pattern. Very nice. One of the more expensive patterns. We're looking at the Stuart catalogue for 1938 that I've downloaded from the Stuart Crystal Facebook group. And yeah, so this is the Ellesmere pattern. This is from, I said it's from 1938, and they weren't really giving pattern names at that time. I think there might be a few, but there's not just pattern numbers. So it was the 28078. Yep. So this is it. I do have this decanter, and I have a spirit decanter that's not here. I also have glasses and tumblers. But yeah, this is a pattern. It's not common, but they did make it for a long time. Let me show you. I can jump. So this is 1938. I can jump forward to 1972. Here we go. So, so this is like 34 years later. Yeah, here it is. Little photo. This is actually a miniature one. I have one of these as well. But yeah, they're even less common because not many people want to buy a miniature decanter that's expensive. And yeah, and this is the range that they were doing at that time. So yeah, so they were still going strong as a pattern, but I think it was probably because of the work involved with it compared to the others. A lot of, you know, twisting and turning. See, this is all just a simple straight cuts. This is not that. Got a twisted stem as well. So yeah, that's the Ellesmere pattern, and yeah, it's one to watch out for. It usually sells quite well. If those were full-size wine glasses, I'd have bought them because I don't have any of those. Yeah. What else is here? These are nice quality. I'm not sure if they look like they're very nice quality, but I think they're early 20th century reproductions. But yeah, he's got 1920s. Yeah, that feels right. These are Victorian. These are very nice as well. These are reproductions as well, but look how nice they are. These are very nice as well. Again, these look like reproductions, but very nicely done. And these as well. Oh yeah, he's got some fantastic. Oh, these are super quality. Yeah, in fact, most of this is super quality stuff. Really nice, not your general cut and shunt cut glass. And you've got down here. That's nice. Probably from the 1860s. Might be Whitefriars. I'd have to have a look in the book. That's super quality as well. Is that? No, that was a decanter, so I was thinking it might be a carafe. Then in the back, it's got a lovely little decanter there with the original stopper. That is super nice. He's saying 1770. I think that's a bit early, but I'm not going to arm wrestle him over that. It's probably more like 90 or something like that, but yeah, it's still way over 200 years old. This is nice as well. This is using the Webb's patent handle from 1876. This might even be a Webb piece. But stopper AF, what's wrong with the stopper? Stopper looks good to me. Oh, there's a big crack. Big crack there. Yeah, that kills it. But that is a very nice piece. This is a supplement to the identification of English pressed glass. I don't know if you spotted my deliberate mistake there, but it was actually not 1876, it was 1867 was the Webb patent for that kind of handle with this feature here. You can see they've got a little cross section of handles. So there you go. Sorry about that. What else? Yep. So this is nice, overshot. This might be Baccarat, might be a Bohemian. That's very nice too. Any marks? No. Baccarat did this kind of glass as well. It's overshot, it's not crackle, but that's very nice. Let's get on to the rest of it. I was talking about shot glass and crackle glass, and I thought I'd take a minute to explain the difference. So this is a crackle glass jug by Devsny Price in Czech Republic. It's a pre-war one, and yeah, this is crackle glass. This effect is done by dipping the hot glass into water, crackles the surface, then you put it back into the furnace for a bit to refuse it up a bit, and this is the effect you get. Sometimes the patterning is more intense than this. You can see in some places it is. Sometimes it's almost like when you've got tempered glass that's broken, like when your windscreen gets broken, it's really tiny little pieces. But this is not quite like that. And then this is shot glass. This is a Baccarat ice jug. You can see the pocket in there. And this effect is created by covering the surface of the molten glass with little, basically crushed glass, and then fusing it into the body of the glass, and it creates this, you see, a sort of sandpaper effect on the surface. Yeah, and this can vary as well. Some, even on this body at the top here, it's kind of, they must have put that bit in to heat because it was actually from the bottom, and that's most fused in. And back here, it's actually you can feel it catch your skin a little bit in places. So yeah, so this is shot glass. So I hope you enjoyed that. I did take a slightly less online bookish approach. I thought I've got all this crap behind me and down the shed, and I thought, yeah, I'll use that to demonstrate some of what I'm talking about. And so yeah, I hope you like that. Let me know if you don't. But anyway, with that said, all the references I used will be in the description below, and
all the links and address and everything for Hemswell Antiques Centre will be in the description below. And I look forward to doing part 4. Yeah, there's going to be a part 4. And yeah, what else? Yes, and please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for that. And thank you for watching. Good night.